Hello and welcome to the Fanatics of Film. My name is Ben here, and I am joined by my good friend, entertainment hacker John Paul Rye. He is actually in a portal on the other side of the earth, but he's also in the same room with me here. We're joined by a teleporting machine that is constantly stringing a web of intergalactic and interstellar and interdimensional spider webs that we're able to intertwine our minds into, and therefore able to create our own universe that you are now witnessing. Thanks so much for joining me here. Thanks for having me on Entertainment Hacker. Appreciate you very much. I stumbled upon a cool thing here that I kind of wanted to kind of illustrate here. This is the first Superman comic, at least that I found, and I'm pretty sure this is Action Comics #1. So really kind of a cool thing, and it's a sad and tragic story. Entertainment Hacker and I were talking a little bit ago, and we were talking about, our favorite DC character. Mine is Superman. A lot of people these days don't really like him that much because he is so invincible and everything, but there's so much kryptonite that it makes him very fallible, or very, very quite vulnerable these days. But I think that regardless of what people say, I think a lot of people tend to gravitate towards him and then appreciate his whole continuity, his whole story, because he is an immigrant and he becomes an American. That's the brilliance of it, is that he becomes an American and he's an immigrant from a different planet. So that's pretty amazing story in and of itself, because it's something that applies itself to our current climate and current political climate, as well as many other things. So anyway, I stumbled upon this, and before DC Comics, there was Action Comics, and we have, of course, the first Superman comic, which is, just kind of showing briefly, as a distant planet was destroyed by an old age, a scientist placed his infant son within a hastily devised spaceship, launching it toward Earth. And so, this was something that was from the very incarnation of it. A lot of people say they don't identify with him because he's an alien, because all these people tend to bash on it because of that. But I beg to differ, especially when you have random people always saying, "Oh, my kryptonite is this," "My kryptonite is that," my one crutch in life, my kryptonite. People say it randomly all the time without even thinking about it, and it tends to be one of those things where people don't even, don't even think about. So anyway, that's my opinion of it. I think he's the whole concept of the character is great. Just this concept of someone being a hero in the first place. I mean, even if you don't like him, that's cool. If you don't like Superman, that's totally cool. And I think that's the important thing to recognize, is that he was the first one. So at least the concept of a superhero, if you like superheroes a lot, just like at least being able to appreciate him for what the character was created by. And so, but he was originally, it's just an interesting thing what the guys went through to create him. Was created by writer Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, and these two guys unfortunately ended up with not very much money. So it just goes to show kind of how crazy any art industry in any industry that caters itself to the arts and media in general, even back then in 1938, which was in a war-torn country, they were dealing with war and stuff like that. Whereas it's something that's such a popular thing now, and it's such a money generating machine now at this point. But these artists who created him were not able to reap all the benefits that so many other people are benefiting from now. So, but this is a classic comic book. And like I said, it was the beginning of superheroes. Oh, and so real quick, something else that I wanted to mention here is that if you're not familiar with Brainiac, he is absolutely one of the coolest villains of all time, and I think it's really cool what his motivations are and everything. And he's this he's kind of like a Thanos type of character. And I'm going to jump ahead here and kind of tell you of course, as we know, the climate with what's going on right now with Superman, Henry Cavill might leave. So my proposal to you guys, all of you, what would you think? Would you all be up for a, to do a live stream? I'm thinking about doing a Superman, or at least a Man of Steel live stream this weekend, kind of a watch party. Would you all be up for that? I sure would. Please let me know in the comments. And Entertainment Hacker, maybe we can get everybody together and make this happen this weekend. Either this weekend or next weekend anyway. I'm trying to shoot for maybe this Saturday. So anyway, let me know in the comments. I appreciate you so much. We're trying to, get, if you like Superman, great. If you don't, that's cool too. I think the important thing to recognize here is what Superman has done for comics in general, and the concept of just someone thinking of someone who could be super in that sense and have these powers that kids tend to gravitate towards, and adults. So anyway, thanks for joining me here at the Fanatics of Film, and you have a splendid day. Thanks for watching.